In this video, I'm going to share with you the real law of attraction. Not the one that just sounds good, that feels good to think about, but actually step by step exactly what to do, that in 6 to 8 months from now, you're able to look back to see that when you watch that one video, it clicked for you. That's what helped you, that is 6 to 8 months from now, to really create the momentum of your dream life. Now, first off, the way the law of attraction is normally played out is you must think about that which you want, you must intend for it, you must visualize it. Sometimes people listen to hypnosis, they listen to different meditations, and it's this thing where a lot of the focus is on it, but the missing key is just a little bit deeper. And it has to do with understanding the power that there is something we must let go of in order for us to actually attract that which we want. And that which we want, we will never actually have if we remain in the energy of wanting. So there's two main parts here that I really want to focus on because it changes everything when we begin to apply it. Now, the first one is the letting go aspect. Now, the challenge with wanting, like if we want a better relationship, or we want the dream job, or to work for ourselves, when we want it, the thing to become aware of is that there's a familiar energy dynamic that is in place. Now, in general, we tend to be attracted to situations that replay the same childhood dynamics that we grew up in. So if we grew up and we weren't empowered, and we grew up, let's say we're used to certain type of relationships in our life where people are either gaslighters or they're people that are emotionally unavailable. What happens is we fight energetically to recreate that in adulthood, whether we realize it or not. And that is because we are addicted to the familiar. Now, when it comes to the law of attraction, we may think we want something. However, the wanting of it is just an intellectual, theoretical idea. It's something that we feel really good when we think about. But there's a familiar energy there that ties us to our past. So the thing to become aware of is, what can I let go of to allow me to be in the unknown? So for example, when I was intending to go full-time on YouTube in February 2017, I started making daily videos. Prior to making daily videos, I had to become aware that my belief system was I must have a 9-to-5 job. That this feels safe for me to have a 9-to-5 job, for other people to tell me what to do. That having a somewhat predictable paycheck was something that felt safe. Because when I started doing YouTube, there was no predictableness of like the exact amount I'd make every month. There was nobody telling me what to do. I had to tell myself what to do. But what I had to become aware of is becoming aware of those beliefs and becoming aware of what I had to let go of. Now, I call this the law of subtraction. So some people say, oh, I'm focused on the law of attraction. But there's something you must subtract from your life to then attract that which you actually intend for. Think of it like you have that of a closet, and in your closet it's completely full of clothes, and you want to attract new clothes, but it's already full. There's no room for it even if you had it. So what you can energetically do is actually let go of some of the old clothes that you haven't worn in years, and then you have space to actually put the new clothes once you attract it in. Well, when I had and started going full-time on YouTube, I had to subtract and let go of the belief that I had in working a corporate job, the addiction to corporate politics. I hated it. I hated being told what days I could take off, what days I could take off. I hated that a lot of people had to suck up to get the schedule they wanted. But that felt familiar. Why did that feel so familiar? Well, I could see also in childhood from 7 to 15 years old, I had an ex-stepmom telling me what to do all the time. And there were like ways of getting around. If I wanted to go to band camp or something like that, or go to some school activity that would normally get taken away, I had to navigate that in a certain way. And it was a similar thing at that 9-to-5 job. So when you look at your current life situation, you may be able to see that there's certain attachments that are there that are keeping you in where you are, that feel familiar. And the key is become aware of those and to observe that actually what you really want, maybe, is to step into the unknown and to create something new. Because remember, all magic happens in the unknown. Things that are new opportunities that come in your life happen in the unknown. They never happen in the known, because in the known is how you think, feel, and act that is on autopilot. So most people, they're trying to manifest from the known. And that's the biggest block. They're thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions. Because even if they're thinking of the new visualization of what they want to create, they're probably feeling like it's not here right now. They're probably feeling like they want it. And guess what? The wanting, the emotional energy of wanting is the emotional energy of not having. It's the emotional energy of lack. So literally, the present moment right now, the energy and the biggest thing I can share with you that changed my life more than anything was learning how to let go, but learning how to embody the energy now. I made the choice in 2017 to be a full-time YouTuber, regardless of what it looked like on the outside. I started making videos every single day, and that's when my life really began to change. Because I was embodying in the present moment a new version of me. And for 3 years, I waited. I had the camera equipment. And by the way, if any of you have a cell phone, you have the camera equipment. Not that I'm saying all of you need to make YouTube videos, but like a long time I thought I needed some fancy pants camera to realize that after I became a full-time YouTuber and I had over 100,000 subs, I think I went years filming on my iPhone. I went back from a cool camera to that. But anyways, I told myself a story. And the story was I don't have the right camera equipment, I'm cringy on camera, I don't feel credible, I live at my dad's house, I had all these things blocking me. But the thing that makes the law of attraction, that changes everything, is when you give yourself permission to be that ideal identity, to just be it. And to realize that the story you tell yourself that is on autopilot is the reality that you're stuck in. So change your story. I changed my story. I became aware of the old story, which is I have to work a 9-to-5 job, and here's my corporate job, and I have to suck up to get the schedule that I want, all that. And eventually I became aware of it. I let it go, and then I started to be a new version of me that was embodying those emotions. So if you want to attract love, the focus is on being the ideal version of you that would attract in that love by embodying it in the present moment right now. Become the version of you that is already in a relationship. Doesn't mean that you have an imaginary boyfriend or girlfriend, but you imagine the qualities and the values you want in that person, and you embody them yourself. So a lot of times that might be being vulnerable. If you want an emotionally available person, expressing your true emotions, physical vulnerability, social vulnerability, being vulnerable. Because being vulnerable is the key to opening up that kind of energy, to even having that heart energy activated. So this is something that the more you do, the more you realize that your life as a reflection begins to change in a powerful way. So that's the first thing to realize about this. Now, the other aspect I want to talk about, though, is making it natural. Because a lot of times we may think about what we want, we might visualize it, but if we don't change our inner self-image, these things all remain on autopilot. When I was working that 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, I learned about the power of a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And this book was all about our inner self-image and how we will only remain in the known, safe, in the familiar of how we think, feel, and act, but it's how the inner self-image of how we see ourselves. This is why a lot of times people that want to lose weight, they want to lose weight, but they see themselves as an overweight person. So it's hard for them to lose weight. But if they would change their self-image, that's why a lot of times, imagine somebody going to the gym for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, doing cardio, becoming a triathlete or riding a bike. I have a friend of mine that weighed 300 pounds. He started riding a bike. He became a cyclist where he was riding his bike with his little dog in the back, and he would ride this bike everywhere. And he lost, and then he made the rule that he wasn't going to get a car. So he was living in Vegas. He lost 150 pounds. He lost 75 to 100 pounds or something like that doing that because it changed his identity. People that go to yoga, same thing. It's you go to a Bikram yoga thing, they tell you in the first day you go, you must come for a week or two to really get the benefits. What happens after the week or two is you start to see yourself as a yoga person. You buy the Lululemon $80, $120 pants, you buy the yoga mat. It's like, oh, I might as well I have the yoga mat now. You make a couple connections with friends there. It changes your sense of identity. So the part of this to realize is that once you do something consistently enough, it changes your sense of identity and then it becomes natural. I started making daily videos in 2017. After about 2 or 3 weeks of doing it, I'd get asked by other YouTubers, like, how do you make daily videos on YouTube? For me, it was easy. It was natural. It was natural for my self-image. And then I started to see myself also as like a hard worker. I saw myself as a hard worker, as somebody that is able to go above and beyond, able to add value. I also saw myself as someone that was adding a lot of value. This helped mold me to create my dream life. So the self-image, the way that you see yourself, the key to transforming it is becoming aware of what your current self-image is. And if you wonder what that is, by the way, just look around. Just look around in your life. Because if you're working a 9-to-5 job you hate, part of your self-image is that you are somebody that works a 9-to-5 job you hate. If you're single and you don't feel worthy of a relationship, if you're honest with yourself and you believe that, then, oh, well, that's part of my self-image. Or if you're in a relationship where someone doesn't treat you well, then maybe that also is part of the self-image. So becoming aware of the self-image is 90% of the transformation. Then it's about making the choice to be the ideal identity. That changes everything. And not being it because it's going to change your reality and change the outside reflection. Being it because it's who you choose to be. It took me weeks before videos started to go viral on YouTube. So it was like I was just doing it because I'm like, damn, this is who I choose to be. I choose to be this version of me. But becoming aware of what you can let go of is really the key to this transformation. Because the attachments we have are what tether us to the past. The attachments we have are what tether us to the 9-to-5 job. And the familiar, the known. How we think, how we feel, how we act is on autopilot. And the key is making a choice to jump into the unknown. I'll tell you, when I started making videos, that was the unknown for me. It became the known. Once you do it familiar, it becomes familiar, it becomes the known. I recently did my first live event finally. Well, I've done live events, but I did my first bigger live event finally. In the energy of it, I got so many more ideas, so much more clarity, and it changed my sense of identity. And then continuing to do that, we'll continue to do that as well. It's about being this identity, not needing permission also. For a long time, what blocked me is I didn't give myself permission because I had all these stories. And when you change your story, you change your life, and then you just simply make the choice to be it, and you let it become natural for you by changing that self-image and not putting those goals on a pedestal. And I'll tell you from experience too, just from always having a goal of making a certain amount of money or whatever, like ego goals maybe that I had. By the time you do it, it is natural. It is like you become the person. You learn the skills. You learn the things about that version of you, and it becomes easy and natural. And it's not on a pedestal, which is a good thing, because if it wasn't natural, you'd probably sabotage yourself and bring yourself back down. So that's one of the most important things to realize about this entire thing, is that we have the ability to give ourselves permission. We can change our self-image at any point by becoming aware of it and making the choice about who we are. We can begin to embody and live in being the ideal version of us that we choose to be, and that changes everything. So in 6 to 8 months from now, make the choice right now to be this new version of you. Let go of the old story, become aware of the old self-image, let it go, and then be and activate this new version of you, and then watch where 6 to 8 months from now, your life changes. And commit to one action you could do every day that really wires in that new ideal version of you. For me, that was making daily videos. For other people, it might be creating art. It might be, you even going, there's another job you want, you can go apply to that job that you don't think you're worthy of. Start taking action. Start getting into the unknown. And watch how doing that changes your life more than anything else, because all the outer reality is a reflection of our inner reality. And by having the courage to step into the unknown, we're sending a signal to the universe that says that we're ready for more. We're going to be courageous. Now, there is a video that's on the power of letting go and not wanting and how that is the most powerful way to receive. If you haven't seen that video yet, it's one of the most powerful ones I have. Check it out right here.
The degree to which you can let go of trying to control outcome, letting go of desire, letting go of want, which is completely the antithesis of what they teach you in most law of attraction teachings